Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of RE050, where I take old stories I've narrated and update them to modern audio standards. As always, I hope that you enjoy. Beyond Crimson Horizon, written by Ryan Hadut. That's trippy. Overhead, the sky transitioned in a clear boundary between the blue sky and the crimson one. The white fluffy clouds gave way to bright, blood-colored ones, hugging the jagged mountains in the distance. The soft grass suddenly cuts into hard, rocky landscape, obsidian outcrops jutting out in places of trees, as if millions of troops brandishing their spears. Yeah, not many things make sense in these lands. But the sun, how could the light from a single source just clearly separate like that? What kind of magic would even divide that transform the land in such a... I don't know. Why don't you ask the Severitus, the Dark himself? Oh wait, I know, because he was dead. We killed him, jeez. The man in full armor beside him wiped the sweat from his brows and took a sip from a metal bottle. I killed him. And instead of a princess and a peaceful life, the damn king gave me an escort quest as a reward. Sorry? No, sorry. It's not your fault. It's the king's fault. It's just, I trained and studied my whole life, and I dedicated my very being to kill Severus, in a hope that I could simply retire afterwards with wealth and fame. But it always the swordsman who got all the credit, even though he'd only cower in fears without my magic. He took another sip as we trudged through the hellish territory of the dead demon lord. But I am a soldier, and soldiers follow orders. I think that we could rest in a cave in a bit. You marked it with a symbol for safe water source in your map. Yeah, whatever magic Severus used to transform this land also allows him to freely cast magic within it. We had to take shelter from the cats and dogs. The wizard in full armor shrugged. I guess even the demon lord has a sense of humor. That is hard to imagine. That it is. The cave was hardly an upgrade from the track on the obsidian plain littered with sharp flints. The acid-smelling air stagnated within the confines of the dark-walled cave. The water was surprisingly clean, but tiny shards of glass like volcanic rocks splintered into the stream. That doesn't look particularly safe, the wizard laughed for the first time. Safe has a very low standards beyond the Crimson Horizon, scholar. Indeed. I attached a standard filter distributed by the guild to my water bottle before submerging it in the stream. What else is in your bag? The wizard turned his eyes to my admittedly massive bag compared to his. Some alchemy and measurement tools, and my wand. Right. People still use wands. Well, you're a scholar. Wouldn't you already know how inefficient wands are? It's more for self-defense. Most of my magics aren't useful in combat, and some that I only learned with wands. Then again, you have me, so that's not an issue anyway. The wizard stood up. Let's go. We had a camp just beyond the outermost defense line of the castle. We could at least sleep there. Just a minute. I screwed back my bottle's cap and then followed behind him. The camp was barely worth being called such. Several makeshift tents littered the site, made out of sheets and cloth held in triangular arrangement by some wooden sticks. A clump of hay stuffed under it, sticking out from another sheet of woven hemp. I mean, you haven't lied to me, but... Like I said, standards are very low around here. Light sleep is the best when you're right outside the enemy's castle. Though, it's no longer an enemy castle now, just an abandoned one. Do you think he still will have evil spirits roaming around? Oh, some low-level apparitions, maybe even a demonic monsters are definitely still around. But without Master, they shouldn't be organized enough to pose a threat. Still, the entire domain is covered in thick magical energy, almost like it's submerged under a physical liquid. Whatever was supplying Severus was this enormous power is evidently still pouring out energy uncontrollably, flooding the entire place. I should only imagine what effect that much power could do to an apparition, even a low-level one's. That could explain why my curse-grounding talismans can't banish them instantly. I didn't think about that when we fought to enter the palace, and that's when Severus was siphoning a majority of its source's power. I'll just set up some mana condensers around. Don't worry, you have me. You just rest, I'll maintain the barrier. Some of my sigils are still in place. We'll invade, explore the castle tomorrow. Thanks. These monsters are no joke. A pillar of fire erupted from a magic circle emanating from the wizard's hands. The goblins on the receiving ends of said pillar only groaned in anger and pain of their charred skin, as opposed to evaporating, which tends to be the effect of spells in such magnitude. I think you could have just collected their blood instead of painstakingly condensing mana from the air.
Yeah, well, I knew the magic here was terrifying, but I didn't expect it to this extent.
I blasted Dire Wolf with a concussive spell from my wand, but it only succeeded in redirecting the wolf's claws. The wolf again prepared to strike. I aimed my shot at the obsidian pillar beside it instead. A shower of obsidian shrapnel shredded its face.
We might need to install the Demon Lord to control these powered-up monsters.
What's the worst that can happen? Am I right? It's not like Severus tried to invade the rest of the world.
The wizard took on my example and replaced his fire spells with telekinesis, shooting obsidian shards at monsters. I'm thinking more like a mental pacification idol in place overriding a commander, not an actual demon lord, like a placeholder in the system.
Yeah, and who knows what kind of interference the sinister magic could have on the idol. Let's just focus on purification. The castle was even larger up close, constructed from massive engraved obsidian slabs and pillars fitted so seamlessly. The entire thing looks like it's carved from a single piece of rock. We forged through to the gate, fighting increasingly stronger monsters and apparitions along the way. Be prepared. Those inside the castle would be even stronger. A bright magic formation filled the air, and armor pieces made of light manifested on my body. If you see me overwhelmed by monsters, just escape. I'll follow suit after you're in a safer place.
I wish I wouldn't have to do that, but okay.
A magical shield projected from my wand. Let's open the door. The wizard pushed the gates open. An empty throne chamber greeted us. Stay vigilant.
I don't even need a compass to feel the magic gradient in here. The source is right below.
I knelt down and touched the floor with my free hand. A simple sound wave emanated from a tiny magical circle, vibrating through the palace.
Of course, the entrance would be right below the throne.
I'm blasting the throne, watch out. A complex circle that I recognized as an advanced form of my concussive spell appeared from the wizard's hand. I tensed my wand.
I'll be okay. Go fire.
The throne was shattered into a million pieces, peppering the dark castle walls with shards. A stairwell appeared in its place, along with a massive apparition in the shape of an orcish torso. A security measure evidently installed by Severus to prevent anyone besides him from entering the secret chamber.
I want it. Don't kill it yet. I want at least a sample.
I ran around the chamber, wand in hand, chisels and mercury bottle in the other. Are you kidding me? This is why scholars are so... The apparition slammed a chandelier before the wizard could finish his sentence. Oh, for God's sake! I quickly set up a simple siphon sigils on the corners of the chamber, modifying it slightly to only suck the mana from the apparition. The whole time I watched the wizard purposely only used less than ideal spells against it from the corner of my eye, distracting it rather than killing it.
Clear, clear!
A three-dimensional magic formation filled the room, siphoning the apparition into a tiny, etheric glass bottle reinforced by its own mana. The bottle fell with a clear thunk. Don't ever make me do that again, or I'll shove your wand up your damn nostrils. The wizard lifted me by my collar.
I understand, sir. Yes.
He dropped me to the floor. As long as you do. Now, let's proceed. We descended the stairs to the underground chamber.
That is a tree, right?
The magical power thickened in astronomical proportion around the object shaped like a dried oak tree. Its glossy surface betrayed its obsidian structure.
It's overflowing with power. It's almost suffocating. Not even the original magic of the capital has this much power radiating from it. It feels like a heart, like a vein. It feels alive, even.
I traced my fingers on the stone tree. If Cerberus is sitting in this much power all the time, how come he hasn't taken over the world yet? Why is his domain so limited? If he utilized the full potential of this power, my group shouldn't even be able to scratch him, much less kill him. So why didn't he?
The formula in the tree is, I don't know. I don't like this. We're going to need another scholar better versed in structure of organic magic. But I suspect not even Severus can fully control this power. If his magic is based on the diagram on the original magic, as with our magic, it won't be compatible with the power from this tree. This tree would reject him.
Are you saying this tree is on the level of original magic? It's another original magic?
You could say it like that, yeah. A more ancient, more powerful original magic. One that Severus spent an eternity studying yet couldn't fully unravel.
I narrowed my eyes.
No, I don't remember much about the structure of original magic, but I think there's a high chance the original magic is created for this tree, to contain it, to contain the demonic domain that it exuded. Cerberus' domain isn't his doing. He's just using what was already there.
You can't be seriously considering this. It's heresy.
I'm a scholar, and you are a wizard. You wield heresies as your weapon, and I seek only truth, even if it is heresy. Not considering heresy is a fatal flaw for people like you and me.
But the temple and the kingdom, the doctrine, this can't be the true form of the world.
The wizard backed away from the tree until his back reached the cold obsidian wall. Open your eyes, wizard. Why do you think Cerberus' minions could freely use magic when barely any humans could? Why his domain overflows with magic, when the dominion of man has only tiny streams of mana? You must feel it as well. Deep down, you must understand. The original magic transformed this world into a habitable one that we knew. The war against Cerberus was never one of liberation, but an invasion.
A magic circle of fire and destruction appeared from his outstretched hand.
Are you going to strike me for saying the truth, wizard?
I pulled the talisman. Against the monster empowered by the tree, my protective talisman would be nigh useless. But against his magic that is based on the same principle, I don't even need to spend my magical power.
Listen to me. Striking me here won't change the truth.
The pillar of fire rushed to me, but my talisman dispersed it before disintegrating as ashes.
It is too late now that Cerberus is dead anyway. The world need not know of the temple and the kingdom's lies. But if we're here, and we are to contain this hell we've invaded and turned into our home, at least we have to know the truth.
I prepared a shield with my wand, as a concussive spell formed in the wizard's hands.
At least I have to know. You could go back and forget everything, or you could be here with me. As long as the containment holds, there is not much difference in your presence would make.
He dispersed his magic circle. Containing the tree means reenacting the creation mythos. It means performing a grand sorcery on the same scale as the original magic. It means that you, a human, will be trying to do what only gods has once achieved.
Well, that's the way of us wizards, isn't it?
End of story. I'd quickly like to thank the T5 peeps: Cold War Boomerwaffen, Severin Cerberus, Bushmaster 177, Henry the Red, Caspar Arnholtz, Cold War Boomerwaffen, Elijah Silvercross, Dragzoon WRE, and Severin Cerberus. Thank you very much.